Well, I've made it to the Bicester Scramble this morning. I was up early, got to be in early to get into the display area. As you can see, the sun is coming up, just sunrise. What is it, about 20 past 8 in the morning. So I was doing okay on the way, and then I stopped to put some fuel in, and since that point it's been sort of coughing and spluttering, and then coming into Bicester Heritage in the queue several times, kept cutting out, so it just completely died, and then had a struggle to get it going again. Almost like, I don't know, it catches, it's got a bit of fuel but not enough fuel. It could be that it's straight after the winter break, my carburetors are not playing ball, but we'll maybe have a look at them later. I'm just hoping that I'll be able to get it going in order to get home later on. Anyway, let's see what's around. So I thought I'd come out into the car park area, or into the sort of public area. This is where you see quite a lot of different cars. Sometimes inside the gates, inside the technical area at the scrambles, it's the same cars each time. You do get a bit of variety, but often it's the same ones you see time and again. So always worth checking out the car park, and particularly this area sort of closer to the hangars where they tend to park the classics. I'm pretty sure I picked out one of these before, the Lancia Flaminia. Just a beautiful shape, and I think they're quite expensive now. Heading up towards 100,000, if not already there. But compared to, I don't know what, a DB5 or a DB4, which is a similar vintage Aston Martins. They're made in the same way, made by Touring Superleggera, same kind of way that it's built. Just a lovely looking car. Can imagine cruising around in that. It's Aston Martin DB6. Kind of slightly longer than the DB5. And just the rear window on the DB5 goes all the way back into the corner, whereas DB6 is rounded off. And then the other thing to see is the tail. There's a kind of a flick up on the tail, and quite a chop to the end of it. Failing that, you just look at the little shield badge down by the front door, and it says DB6. See beautiful lines of the Aston Martin V8. This one, the Vantage. Number of ways you can tell, but it's really deep, kind of front air dam. It's obviously got Vantage written on the side strake as well. It's got this sort of bonnet bulge. There's no intake there, and actually there's no intake across this grille. There's no grille there. It's sort of blanked off, so all the air goes in underneath. Beautiful. So one of many of the different variants of Alfa Romeo 105 series. Sort of two doors. This one got this sort of step on the bonnet there. Designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro, who did many things, but this was one of the first things he did. Not a bad calling card for a kind of fresh out of university or fresh out of college student, is it? This is the Giulia GT Sprint, or Giulia Sprint GT. A lovely thing. This Lancia's answer to the Alfa 105 series. This is the Lancia Fulvia. Built with rallying in mind, did very well. It's just a cute little car, really. Not a lot to it. So many would pick this out as a Jaguar Mark II, but of course it's not. It's an S-Type. So they took the kind of front end of the Mark II and the back end of, I think, of the Mark X, the Mark X. So it gives it a much bigger rear and a much bigger boot. Seems a bit strange to find a Scirocco, Volkswagen Scirocco, in a lineup of classics. So it seems strange to me anyway. I guess they've been around since what, late 70s, early 80s. This is the kind of the second generation one. Again, designed by Giugiaro, same as the Lotus Esprit and the Alfa and Gordon Keeble. I think I saw back there as well. A whole bunch of different things he designed. So sleek and unmistakable lines of Volvo P1800. There's something about these, just kind of love the lines, these kind of fins on the rear. So the first ones were actually built in the UK by Jensen. You can tell which ones they were because the side strip comes up like that in a hockey stick kind of shape, and the front bumpers come up again in the middle, so like that. They're cow horns, so cow horns and hockey sticks. This one is a later one, made in Sweden, so P1800S. Looks like a very well turned out one. So I can't not pick out this Series 2, Series 2A lightweight Land Rover. It's one of the cars that I've always fancied. Got to drive one, did a video on one a little while back. Can't say it's the most comfortable thing I've ever driven, but it's not what it's about. But I just love the look of them. So it makes you wonder what all the fuss is about here. Look, big crowd of people all staring at a particular car. And it's the Singer 911. Clearly it's something a bit special. Not really my bag, to be fair, but clearly it's got a following. So the intercooler have managed to curate a few nice cars here. So you've got the BMW M1, not so many of those around. Aston Martin Valkyrie. And I think that's an Artura, isn't it? A McLaren Artura, I believe. And a Honda NSX. So what was I saying about Flaminias? I found another one. It's a Ferrari 365 GT4 BB. Characteristic sort of two-tone colour scheme, black on the bottom. I'll just go and have a look in the engine bay. See BB obviously standing for Berlinetta Boxer.
Lots of cases.
Pretty much. Two seats on the front of a big engine. So I like a Ferrari Testarossa. Got a certain thing about them. I've never seen a bronze or coloured one before. This one's owned by Duke of London, Merlin. Very distinctive. A friend of mine had one actually, and I did have a quick go at driving it, but I just found the driving position really odd. I couldn't get on with it, but I may have had the wrong shoes on. But I still quite fancy one. So at first glance, many people would believe this to be a Testarossa. Obviously it's the same family, but this is a slightly later 512 TR. Sort of differences around the lights at the front there. So Gordon Keeble, lovely car, and another one of my favourites alongside the Alfa Romeo Montreal. So much maligned, the Austin Allegro. Kind of have to agree with them, to be fair, especially in this kind of colour. I think a brown Allegro's got to be up there, isn't it? What would you least like to have, or least like to have in terms of a classic car? But you know, it has its fans. I'm sure some of you are fans of an Allegro. My father-in-law had one for many years. I think this is the most extreme looking thing I've seen from Polestar. Polestar Synergy. I'll take the opportunity to warm up a little bit. Here in the Hagerty Clubhouse. They're actually going to be announcing the 2024 bull market list for the UK. Which cars they believe through their data is going to be the best sellers or the biggest climbers in terms of value. They've also here got this Mission Motorsport Scalextric set, this kind of Goodwood race course or Goodwood motor circuit.
I don't think the white car's going.
So I've not been long back from Bicester. It's just getting a bit too cold there. Obviously next to an airfield, it's really chilly. So actually the car ran okay on the way home. So I'm guessing there's obviously a hot engine issue there, and I'll probably need to tune the carburetors, get them properly balanced. I did a bit of plug pulling and it was clear that at least one of the barrels wasn't really doing its job. So that's something for another time and probably for another video. So meanwhile, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.